called The Magic Ends at Midnight. Once upon a time, I was a Disney princess. And I don't mean I met a prince at a royal ball. I mean I drove to Central Florida, took a bus to an asbestos-ridden tunnel beneath a castle, clocked in with my blue ID, and checked in, presenting myself as Cinderella Grand Floridian,
Or Snow White Town Square.
or Merida 2/Welcome Show. Back then, I didn't know what aging felt like. 7 years spent playing characters forever frozen in their teenage bodies. I was frozen too. All I knew was the clock hadn't struck midnight yet. But I'm turning 30 this month, and I'm scared as hell to finally hear the time tick over to 12. I was just 19 when I became a princess. With my glass slippers firmly on my feet, I paraded through my 20s. Enshrined in a carriage of electric lights, I waved my way down Main Street. Entombed in a room with fake windows where the time of day never changed, the manufactured twilight framed by velvet curtains, the same smile lived on my face for hours. My face secretly aging beneath a mask of documentation makeup, blue, gray, and ivory eyes, wineberry and watermelon lips, cheeks forever pink and blushing, the blush of youth. If you want to experience time at Disney, you have to go on a ride. Travel back to bygone eras, simulated smoke signaling the arrival of pirates, a disembodied head calling forth ghosts in old-timey clothes. You can even follow one family through an entire century on the Carousel of Progress. But you always come back outside and blink into the unchanging sun, where kids are still running and crying and having fun, where if you want a snack you can easily find one, where there's a gift shop when every ride is done, and where the princesses are always young. I was 20 when casting fit me in Alice, the one who falls down the rabbit hole, and I was told it wasn't a match. I was told not to hold out hope because I was told I would only get too old. Every day that I got out of bed, pulled a wig onto my head, zipped myself into a sparkling gown, and made smiles out of children's frowns, the fear of aging crept in without a sound, invisible but all around, like the cameras at the Magic Kingdom. At first, it was easy to push the thoughts away. I was used to living the same day over and over, from rope drop to fireworks, hauling costumes backstage, sneaking snacks between sets, waiting for Tinkerbell to take her flight and signal the end of the night. I thought the magic could forever be mine, like I could halt the hands at 11:59 until the very end of time, but then the layoffs came. No longer a cast member, I was discarded by an email calling me Dear Valued Employee. I felt like I'd lost half my identity and midnight was approaching so quickly. I tried to go back, auditioned again, but it was easier for them to bring in younger girls who still had stars in their eyes. So I took my old body home in my beat-up Nissan instead of a twinkling carriage. The spell had worn off. The well-traveled road to the castle turned back into I-4. All the magic I'd made wasn't there anymore, and all this time the clock had kept the score. Because fairy tales are only for the young, and I can taste the words "the end" on the tip of my tongue. So at midnight, as March 20th becomes March 21st, and my 29-year-old body becomes 30, what transformation will I have to endure? Will I become a rotten pumpkin or an old hag? Something must be coming and it must be bad. I swear I'll lose it if I hear another, well, you could always be the fairy godmother. I spent years watching friends in their mid-20s be aged out of their characters in a place where the fairest one of all meant the youngest one of all. I was trained to fear the day when makeup settled into fine lines, when photos began to betray the passage of time. In a world where women are expected to age gracefully, I was expected not to age at all. But that clock and its ticking are my downfall. I'm not Peter Pan, and for me there is no Neverland. Time is something I can no longer suspend, and I wish I could see a happily ever after around the bend, but I'm so afraid of 30, and that I might never be one of those princesses whose dreams come true in the end.